in.
Do you need me closer?
Probably just whatever you think. It doesn't really matter. Mainly when I'm talking about things, but
Yeah.
I think the speaker's probably pretty good on that phone. I'm gonna catch up. As you can see, his coat has broken nicely. Big hairy mammoth. Will only get hairier for winter. I generally tie him up to a tree, up a bit higher. The reason I do this is, I'll just do a quick example. He's tied to a fence here. He has a tendency of putting his head, it's a bit like getting his fly veil off. He'll put his head over his rope, under his rope I should say, and try and pull his halter up on the rope. He's up high like that, he can't quite get his halter off. There's nothing, he doesn't panic about having his head under the rope, so you can tie him to a fence. I just find it's easy to tie him to a tree, and it's not fidgeting trying to put his head under that rope. Okay, he's very dirty. We'll get the bigger bits of mud off. That will do. I think his coat's grown about 1.5 centimetres in 2 days, it looks like. Just take his feet out and show you that. So, just given that you guys, you girls I should say, kids in particular, have been dealing with horses that are, well, your horse is a bit older, Jimmy's young, he's not, by no means is he nasty, he's not naughty, but you need to be the boss of him. So, like when it comes to, some days you'll find, today he's just pretty chilled out, but some days you'll find he just wants to be right in your face and he wants to rub you and stuff like that. Don't accept it. It's okay to give him a cuddle, but you don't want him in your face pushing all over you, because that to him says that he's the boss of you, so you want to be the boss of him. Now, picking up his back feet, he's not a kicker, nothing like that, but he might try and pull away some days. Not every day, as you can see, he just picked it up fine. But if he pulled away from you several times and you kept letting him get away from it, he would learn that habit quite easily, because he's a smart horse and he's only young, he's not old, he hasn't been around for years and around kids. So you just got to make sure that you make him do things the way that you want them done, so that he stays being a good pony basically. He's a brilliant pony, but because he's so clever and smart, you let him get away with the wrong things, he'll think he's the boss. You don't want. Well, you don't want it with any horse. Alright. As you can see, he's pretty easy going. Rightio. Something else I wanted to explain is when it comes to Jimmy's saddle, you may find it's a bit small for you. When I say a bit small, you'll get used to riding in it. It's definitely on the smaller side for me, but for a 14.5-inch saddle, it's got quite a roomy seat in it, in that I find it okay to ride in. It's not squishing me up too much. But the issue with Jimmy is you can't have a bigger saddle on him. So this is another thing that you guys need to work out with the trial, is that you can comfortably ride in this saddle. It might sit you in quite a good position. That might be hard to get used to when you're, say you've come out of a winter, which don't get me wrong, I ride in out the bush too, but this saddle really sits you up in a nice position. It'll feel awkward for a few days until you get used to it. Anyway, he has a very short back. His loins are here, so where that hair changes, you're not meant to have a saddle sit behind that line, okay? And you shouldn't have it sitting up on his shoulders either. So the point of the shoulder is right here. Now, that point, it shouldn't sit further than that. So Jimmy only has 14 inches, well, we've got a 14.5, I should say. You might be able to squeeze a 15-inch saddle on him. At the moment we're working with a 14.5 and it works well for him. You just need to see whether you guys can get used to it, because I just would recommend that you don't go putting on a 16-inch saddle or anything. He's only going to end up sore in the loins. He's not sore these days, like he is brilliant. We've had probably about a month and a half ago, I had my masseur come for my other horse and she had a look over him and she said he's brilliant. So this saddle has fixed all those problems we had from the old saddle. There you go. So I'll send this cover with the saddle. Obviously this one came with it. I will send another old one I've got over the top that's a zip up, just so that it's safe in transit and everything. That cover is falling apart a little bit, like it's fraying. So when it's in storage, I'd just take that off and leave this one on it. Personally, you can put it on if you want, but you might just get a little bit of fragments of the cover because it's an older one falling off it. Now, another important thing, especially until you choose whether you're keeping him or not after a month. I ride with my stirrups under this saddle so it doesn't rub there. It's completely up to you. Don't get me wrong, it won't ruin this saddle, but it will mark it as it does with any other saddle. That's just been my choice and I just prefer it. Yeah, well, as per the conditions we discussed, the saddle just needs to come back as it is if he doesn't work out, which I'd be very surprised about. But, you know, he's obviously, I've had him for a long time and you just never know. Maybe he might not suit you guys, but I think he will. So, yeah, but anyway, just make sure you keep them under there. You might find getting on is a little bit awkwarder because it doesn't move as easy when you can't go like that when you're getting on. So maybe just use like a crate or something so that you're up a bit higher and your leg doesn't have to pull out so far. You'll understand when you try it the first time. Now some days, which is certainly not today, but some days he can be fidgety when you're saddling him. It's nothing nasty. He honestly is. He has a heart of gold, this horse. But he can be, you know, if he's having a day where he's got more energy, he might move around, want to rub on you. Right now he's decided that he's going to not want his girth done up that tight straight away. I always take my time with a girth, because the quickest way to make a horse, and obviously I broke him in and got him going and everything, but the quickest way to make a horse girthy is to just reef the girth up. He's never had that done. I've always taken my time. I do it up fairly firm, then I'll give him a walk and I'll do it up a bit more. Because why would you want to make a horse sour over getting girthed up? When you can spend an extra 2 minutes, and then you've got a happy pony. Rightio. Bridle. Okay, we'll put this bridle on and then we'll do a quick pause of the video just to break it up so the loading doesn't take so long. Didn't load 2 videos. Don't worry, Wendy, I'll come and stop it if you need me to. You know where the stop button is, or?
Well, I think I just press where the square is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some days he won't stand still as easy, but generally, especially being kids and him not knowing you, I'd just put the reins over his head before I took the halter off, so you've got something to grab if he did decide to walk off. I'm not saying he's going to run off or do anything like that, but obviously I know him and I would have been able to stop him if he went to walk off, but I don't want you to get, once again it goes back to that, you've got to be the boss of him. If he worked out that he could walk off on you, he might try it again and again. So just be mindful. Another thing, just want to point out to you guys, because obviously it will take a little while for you guys to get to know him, but Jimmy loves giving kisses. He will lick you. He's not going to do it today, of course, to show you. But sometimes he gives you kisses up here. He's never been a biter. He'll kind of nibble on you like he would with another horse. So I always be cautious, because you never know. But just letting you know, if he is playing with your hands, things like that, it's generally, he's not going to just grab a hold of you. He might sort of do this. I let him lick my hands and things like that, but just letting you know, he is an in-your-face horse and loves snuggles and kisses. And he's going to try and get some off Wendy. Alright, we'll pause it and then we'll start again.